Good morning and welcome to Atn Saturday. I believe you had a wonderful night rest. Atn Saturday is a syndicated live program of the network featuring conversations and in-depth analysis of trending political news, events and stories with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actors to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. On our top stories for today, we look at a community clash, 4 killed in fresh Ebonyi land dispute, and US aid terrorism funding. Akpabio meets Tinubu as Senate summons intelligence chiefs. On cost of living, shun exploitation and reflect food price reductions, carry. And on local government autonomy, EFCC will monitor your funds or look all your day. And in family dispute, late Herbert Wigo's father takes granddaughter to court. And we're looking at June 12th election. I would do things differently if given another chance. That is by Babangida. And also on to sports, Lukman hits back at Gasperini over penalty criticism. And in entertainment, Cynthia Erivo to play Jesus at Hollywood Bowl. We're going on a quick break, and when we return, I will introduce my guest for today. Just stay tuned. Both in the Ivo local government area of Ebonyi State. The first 3 persons killed were said to be part of a contingent that entered the disputed land to harvest yams on Wednesday, while a woman was killed on Monday. The 2 communities have been having a dispute over a fertile piece of land known as Elueke land for many decades. The dispute had been adjudicated to the Supreme Court, with Umuobo being declared the rightful owner of the land by the courts. However, successive state governments have refused to enforce the Supreme Court ruling on the disputed land. Despite the 1991 ruling, the dispute has persisted, with many lives lost as both sides periodically carried out attacks and reprisal attacks against each other. The crisis intensified late last year, with many people on both sides killed, forcing the state government to declare the disputed land a buffer zone. It also set up a committee to mediate and find lasting solutions to the dispute. Despite placing an embargo on residents from entering the disputed lands, the killings have continued. Reports say a woman was killed on the land on Monday. The woman was said to be from Okwe, another community not involved in the dispute. She was, however, allegedly working on the disputed land in a company of persons from Ogwo when allegedly attacked by gunmen believed to be from Umuobo. On Wednesday, 3 persons from Umuobo were also killed in what is believed to be a reprisal attack for the Monday attack. A source from Omobo lamented that the residents of the community have been hard hit with stood by the state government. He said, I'm aware of the killings. They told me of the killings and I am aware of it. I was even there today to address them and urge them to keep the peace and maintain peace. We cannot, because of the killings, try to aggravate the situation. That is the predicament. Are they supposed to be there at that particular time? But you know, you cannot start blaming when life is lost. So that is the problem. Mr. Libar, what's your thoughts on this story?
Okay. Land disputes.
Yeah.
A ruling was given in 1991 that this place belongs to these people. No, it is not the machinery of the state to implement that ruling, to avert this. But it's quite unfortunate that the instrument of the state, should I use the word fade, or due to negligence, and successively there has been killing. The state government is aware, the local government is aware, other parastatals that are meant to implement this ruling, they are aware. So is it that it is politically motivated? Is it that there is one high-class political office holder or former office holder that belongs to this other side that lost the case in the Supreme Court, that is sitting on it, don't implement this thing, this should be my benefit? And now what is the gain after life are being lost every day, every year, every month? Just within the week, 4 persons has gone down. 3 from this side, 1 woman, and from the story, maybe the woman is not even from the community. Yeah. She went there with some persons. So now there is this trace of unending hatred, unending aggression, and unforgiveness. Because you cannot kill innocent person from another community and expect the community to be quiet also. Until it still boils down to what I talked about, peace education. But that's one thing that have made us to understand. Now, it's left for the state government, because the state government ought to have stepped in since. Now, this is where the government comes in land disputes. If court has given ruling, like I do tell people, land disputes is not what you run to the state first. Explore all the local way of settling it. If it doesn't work, go to the courts. After court has given the ruling, it is bent on the government to implement it. It is bent on the government to say, now, this is the judgment. If you trespass and this is what I'm going to make on you as a penalty. There is nobody that does not fear government because of the power government has. But the government has been silent, like the story reads. They've been silent, they've not done anything. So it's now they are stepping in, they want to resolve it. How are they going to resolve it? Is it to implement the ruling from Supreme Court, or is to alter on to implement their own? That is another question to be asked, because when it comes to Nigeria, everything is dicey. They are ruling. Once the court gives their ruling, and it favors me, because definitely, see, no matter how they said they bent justice, there is always the right way, there is always the light in that justice. Now, when we are in court and I'm narrating how I own this land, how this land became my property, and it doesn't belong to you, cannot get the same historical background, root owner, call it root owner in real estate. Okay. You cannot get the same root owner trace in land hacking. And you cannot have it like me. Because I'm the rightful owner. This thing was passed on to me from generations. So I have the chronological order of the generations that passed this thing to me. But you that do not, you cannot. So definitely, even if there is anything fishy in the judgment, the world we see, the people we know, we take the judgment. We have our witnesses that will be written down. So that is it. So firstly, the court has given judgment. The piece of land there is not only, but it is something that has been handed over to them by the fathers.
But my question is, another question is, these lands, like you said, were handed over to them by their fathers. But you know, realtors, you guys work with proper documentation. So in a situation whereby there is no proper documentation to it, you know, anybody could just wake up one morning and claim ownership.
In the days of our fathers, there was nothing like documentation. Are you getting it? What these people do, they explore traditional means. I might have this place, maybe we are friends, and you don't have well, or you needed that thing for, I will call you. Maybe we buy water, we fetch water from the well, we pour it and say from today I give it to you to just farm more.
Okay.
That was how it was in Africa then. Maybe sometimes you just bring some bag of cowries, you are leasing the place from me. It does not belong to you, it wasn't sold. Now, documentation comes in recently when we start exploring real estate and when Western education came in. That was when they started documenting, started writing. What we were using was verbal agreements. You will come with 2 persons, come with 3 persons, we sit down, we agree. So if I'm about to die, I will call my son and tell my son that so land is our own, that the person occupied that land, give them for lease. So my son will take it and tell his own son. So that is how. So the children tree continues and the knowledge of who owns this thing continues. Maybe you that lease this thing from you on the long run, you will not tell your people. So them seeing it, that our father was on this piece of land, it now occurs to them that they own it, not knowing that it was leased.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is it when it comes to this. If it was something that has to do with documentation, before he enters the land, they would have been written down, that would have stand by now they would have been brought out to show to the world this thing belongs to us. So since they have not talked about there was a paper, there was a this to this, let's just take it that it was a verbal agreement between the fathers that occupied there before the arrival of the contemporary generation.
One of the residents said that they had battled hunger for a while, and while they couldn't bear it, they walked into the farm, into the land, piece of land, and started farming. Now, I'm looking at it from this angle. You don't have food to eat, and then you are going to farm on the land, and afterwards you engage in communal clash. So where did this trend come from?
Yeah, you don't have food to eat. See, there is something about fight and war. When fight occurs, when war takes place, you will know that the person you were calling weak or the person that was hungry has another strength that will come in. It's a battle for survival. The battle for survival takes another turn. Now, they were hungry. Not necessarily they don't have food to eat. Not necessarily they are not eating 1 square meal, 2 square meals, or 3 square meals a day. But just that their means, you know, Ebonyi State is they are one of the people within this certain region that produces rice.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that place is very good with rice.
So the land, according to the story, the land is fertile.
Yeah. So they are looking at what the economic importance of the land to them. They are still in the sense that maybe that land will fetch them a whole lot of tubers of yam, fetch them a whole lot of grains, a whole lot of wheat, a whole lot of rice, and every other things that are planted there. So they deem me feel that instead of us to just leave it remaining fallow, let's go in there and farm. Not remembering that there is crisis. And another thing is that people should be careful. We should tread with caution. We shouldn't leave ourselves to be driven by emotion. We shouldn't let ourselves to be driven by emotion. It is he that lives that can tell the story. He that dies has gone. If you live, you tell the story. If you die, you are gone. You become an history. They will tell you, oh, on this land now, so person died here. Maybe when they share the land, you may not be among. Coincidental, you don't even have someone that can stand in for you. You don't have any progeny that can stand in. So your own is gone and is gone. So the only thing is to tread with caution, stay clear of that place. Until proper agreement, until proper settlement. And another thing, the state government should hasten. If it's the Supreme Court ruling that they are going to implement, they should implement it to the latter. Sanction the other party. If anything happens here, you'll be held responsible. It's not time to handle things lackadaisically, because lives are gone.
And more interestingly, there have been issues about land disputes when we found out that probably oil was discovered on a piece of land, and then we get to find out that the two communities start dragging this thing. I'm appalled that it barely for the fact that the land is fertile. This is costing life.
No, it's not just that the land is fertile. See, there are two sides to land disputes. One of the parties own the land. The other party is intruding. And most times the party that is coming with force, they are intruders. Now get it. They are trying to operate with the Machiavellian theory.
Okay.
So If I'm coming to your land and this land does not belong to me, what I do, I don't know whether you've heard of land grabbers.
Yeah.
If land grabbers are coming here to grab today, they will be shooting. They will come with boys. Like, even you that is the owner of the land will be afraid of coming close to that place. You are the owner. Yes, you are the root owner. Trace it on heaven to earth. You are the owner of the land. But you stepping into that place, fear will not allow you to do it. Because of the force. Because of the weapons. Because of what will happen. So, not necessarily because the land is fertile. There are two sides to this, the owner and the intruder. And that is within the jurisdiction of the courts and the jurisdiction of the traditional judges to detect this land belongs to these people. Why are you intruding? It was sold to us. It was sold to you. Wow. How was it sold? You know, in the ancients, before we enter into written agreement, there was always a trace to whatever is sold. They give you something to stand in for it. This land has been sold. There is always a traditional way of letting everyone know that this thing has been handed over.
Okay.
Just like we had deed of conveyance now, deed of assignment, right of ownership, power of attorney, as we have these documentations today. So deed of lease and the rest of them. So the same thing happens to the traditional time. So not necessarily the fertility of the land, but those who are defending their inheritance and those who want to take another person's inheritance.
Defending their inheritance at the expense of life.
See, Michael, there's something that happened. If you've not been in the situation, you can't. I just want to withdraw anything emotional.
Working with Nigerian regional partners to combat terrorism and enhance security in West Africa. U.S. Congressman Scott Perry opened Pandora's box when he alleged that U.S. aid has been funding global terrorist groups, including Boko Haram. Perry, a Republican from Pennsylvania, alleged during a congressional hearing that American taxpayer money was being misused to finance extremist groups. Who gets some of that money? Your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipment of cash funds in madrasas are sent to ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, Khorasan, and terrorist training camps. That's what it is funding. Perry claimed in a video that has since gone viral. He also accused U.S. aid of misallocating $136 million meant for constructing 120 schools in Pakistan with no evidence of their existence. At plenary yesterday, the Senate, adopting a motion by its former majority leader, Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, immediately resolved to invite the intelligence chiefs. Ndume urged the Senate to take the revelation seriously, given the devastation caused by terrorists, particularly Boko Haram. He emphasized that a thorough investigation would end speculation about how non-state actors have managed to survive over the years. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, endorsed the resolution, but stressed that security matters are best handled behind closed doors. He noted that intelligence chiefs will provide the Senate with a clear perspective in a private briefing before further steps are taken on the matter. However, no date has been set for the heads of the nation's intelligence agencies to appear before the Senate. Akpabio maintained that it is important for Nigeria to ascertain the veracity of the allegation, saying Nigeria won't allow U.S. aid to continue operations in Nigeria if the American government agency is found guilty of sponsoring terrorism. If it is true that U.S. aid has been funding Boko Haram in Nigeria, we have no business allowing them to have offices in Nigeria. So, before we can take decisive steps and also ask for recompense, automatically we must go deeper into the issue, the Senate President said. When this report was made available to newsmen earlier this week, it caused a whole lot of uproar, and when the Senate reacted to this, there has been mixed reactions to the Senate stance thus far. What's your opinion on this?
Sorry, what's number one? At the day in this Nigeria, it will be politicized. I know the grievances of somebody like Ali Ndume. He's from a place that directly received the brunt of this terrorism. He's from Borno,
okay,
from Borno State. So his people have suffered in the hands of these terrorists, the Boko Haram. But what is there is it has been alleged, because you are in the allegedly time in Nigeria, everything is alleged.
Interesting.
But it's high time we look deep. There's one person I love and I cherish. Let's take it, the sentiment that people are parading about him, Hamza Mustafa. General Hamza Mustafa said it long ago that Boko Haram is just for illegal mining.
Interesting. Illegal mining of what?
Of our resources in the northeast. That's what Hamza Mustafa said. He said it was then he talked and said Californium, he mentioned some of the resources, costly resources that are there. Now what they do, he asked the question is that, why is it that our military men cannot go there, but you see foreign NGOs entering the forest and return? It was the same Boko Haram, if you can recall, that kidnapped U.S. indigents. And U.S. was able to come to Nigeria, take their indigents, left without anything.
Interesting.
I don't know whether you heard of that in Nigeria.
Yeah.
They came into the den of Boko Haram, rescued their citizens, and they left. But us are still held captive. So it's high time, if Nigeria, I think this Trump regime wants to open us up to like what Burkina Faso head of state, let me use the word head of state, said, that they for the past 1 year they survived without aid. So it encouraged them to do more. It encouraged them to build industries that they can survive without aid. They have all it takes to survive.
Currently, they're having a thriving economy.
It's high time Nigeria borrow from what is happening around us. Ask some people, how do they do it? South Africa is giving it back to US. But just that we live in a place whereby everything is politicized. Our politicians depend on US. Where are they looting the money to? Where will they go? They have houses in the US. They have places, their bank accounts, the offshore account they have. Where are they located? Hamza Mustafa said it. It was, they should leave it, it's corrupt, this. Hamza Mustafa spoke about this long ago. So why is it now? Why are they running a task now when someone has already alleged it since?
In a broader perspective with facts.
But is it not the fact that they are coming up with now? Before the man spoke, do you think he was a military, not just a general? Anybody go, if you study about Hamza Mustafa, he's one of the intelligent generals we have. So when he mentioned about this thing is being aided by foreigners, it's being aided by foreign funds. Okay, who supply food to Boko Haram? How do they receive weapons and ammunition? How do those things get to them? How does this happen? Who is behind it? How intelligent are they? Who is training them? Who is funding them? That they have what our own military, Nigerian military, don't have. So listen, there is no wind without a trace of rain. If it doesn't fall here, it falls there. There is no fire without smoke, and there is no smoke without fire. So if it is time that God wants to liberate us, our politicians shouldn't politicize it. It's not part of it. One of the military men was talking. He said he knows that they will come after him, but he has to say it. He wasn't there. He said they've lost their men. Whether he was talking about something that one of the government officials, because they denied him visa. That's how these things are coming up, and that and that and that. But if visa was not denied, it wouldn't have come up. But thank God it is here with us. It's all left for them. There are people that benefited from the money allocated for fighting insurgency. There are people that benefit from traveling to abroad. This week they are in the US. Next week they are in the Canada. The other week they are in the United Kingdom. The other day they are there. They are the people benefiting from it. The masses are suffering. Death tolls. I know once I was going to the north, we were going to Kaduna. We were going, they asked us to stop. Yes, some persons, they were driving, but they said we should stop. Something happened that. I remember once from Kano, we were going to Katsina. So, okay, so this thing is really, you cannot tell me that this man will just come up, the Congress will just come up and speak without facts. He's giving you figures.
You know, interesting. Insecurity is a national issue. I don't know. I'm trying to understand the benefits someone gets by causing mayhem.
Do you know that even your communal crisis, there are people building houses from it?
At what benefit?
Benefit to themselves.
To them.
Abroad now. They have security in the US. They are secured in the US. They are secured in the Canada. They are secured in the Netherlands. They are secured in the Italy. They are secured all over.
But no matter what, home is home.
Home is home. How many of them sleep in their home? It's only during electioneering period that our politicians will now go home. They now buy bags of rice because they've infested the people with hunger. They will now buy wrapper. It's then they will now remember that they have a constituent. They have the constituents. It's then they will know that they are from a village, they are from a locality. Because they know they cannot vote in Abu, they cannot go to US, they cannot go to this place and stay there and vote. It's high time to do the bidding of their paymasters. If it was something like this, see, on the long run, even if they find out, they will sweep it under the carpet. They will sweep it. We are in Nigeria, sorry, I'm alleging. Yeah. Because in Nigeria we allege. Yeah, nah. Allegedly, if it's found out, on the long run, it takes a country that has that sovereign will, not just the sovereign power. Let me use the word sovereign will. Because we have the sovereign power already, we are an independent nation. But the will to stand independent, to look into the US eyeball to eyeball, and say from now, this thing stops. It takes a high level of tenacity. Do you know how many persons Boko Haram has claimed their life? How many people has left homeless? I was traveling to Adamawa. We passed through Taraba after Kasala in Benue. There is a community that has been burnt down. This is a pointer to where we should go. And this fund, who are the people bringing this fund to the terrorists? If after being alleged is confirmed to be true, once I know it's barely for you to be confirmed to be true, we need to look very well. Who brought the funds? It is Nigerians. The US cannot just stay there and send the fund. It was passed through a source. Who received it? Who dispatched it? In fact, it's better they even trace it to who is the person among the military. That was the they said they have people among the military that are giving these people information. So this should bring about a pure circumcision of our system. Let's purify it. Let our political class understand that power is transient, and if you are there today, there are generations coming. There are generations after you. They should look into this thing with the eyes of the gods, not just the eyes of men.
Interesting. Eyes of the gods.
Not just the eyes of men. Because the eyes of men, but the eyes of God is all seen. They should investigate it to the letter. See to it that whosoever is involved is brought to book. Then Nigerians will have confidence, knowing that the system is flowing the way it's supposed to flow. But if this is not done, the blood of those that has been shed by terrorism, the source of livelihood that has been destroyed, is there to speak.
All right. Hopefully that we will keep tabs on the story, and then we'll anticipate a positive feedback from.
It shouldn't be politicized. It shouldn't be the Nigerian thing. It shouldn't be the Nigerian thing.
The Nigerian thing, is that a cliche?
Yeah, if you call it that, it shouldn't be the Nigerian thing. The Nigerian thing on the long run, when leave and like this, it don't happen, you know? No, it shouldn't be that. It should be a thing that it should be a sovereign nation fighting for the cause of our land.
Hopefully to be so. Moving on to our next story. Federal government has urged retailers to reflect the reduction in food prices and shun exploiting consumers. The Minister of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Abubakar Kyari, stated this on Tuesday during the 2025 Wheat Farmers Greenfield Day at that village in Ringim, local government area of Jigawa. He decried the nonchalant attitude of retailers to reflect the reduction in their sales despite the drop in prices, describing it as unpatriotic and unacceptable. The federal government is aware of the significant drop in prices of food items across major markets, particularly for essential commodities such as flour, sugar, rice, and pasta. However, it is deeply concerning that many retailers, bakers, and shop owners have refused to reflect this reduction in their selling prices, thereby denying Nigerians the relief they deserve. In previous months, stakeholders in the retail value chain raised concerns about the rising cost of food items. Now that the prices have dropped, such as flour, which fell from 81,000 naira per bag to below 60,000 naira, spaghetti has fallen from 20,000 to 15,000 naira. It is only fair and just to let consumers benefit from food price reduction, Kyari said. He reiterated the government's commitments to ensure food availability and engage with relevant stakeholders to reflect the current market realities. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the event was organized in collaboration between the Flour Milling Association of Nigeria and the federal and Jigawa state government. Mr. Leber, before I get your thoughts on this, I recall while I was serving, I think that was last year or last 2 years, we believe that dollar has controls the price of commodities in the market. So once if the exchange rate skyrockets, the next day everything skyrockets. While I served at Cross River State, you can actually bought a bike today by 300 at 300, and the next day you come and later it's 500 because why? Dollar has skyrocketed and then fuel has added price. But now we're seeing the dollar is really, the naira to dollar is really relatively stable, but we still find the fact that some essential food commodities are still hiked in price. So this is no longer a case of dollar or fuel. So it seems it's now a case of a deliberate act from the retailers. But doesn't mean that the government does not have a role to play in this, or where can the government come in? So while you're addressing this story, you could also look into that perspective.
Okay, Michael, we have the Federal Consumer Protection Council.
Okay.
Now this will charge with the responsibility of protecting the consumers. See, if I'm to protect the consumers, I'm not to get there. If I'm to protect you, do you know why servicemen like you see military men, they tell you this is what they said, they exempt them from tax. There are some things they exempt them because they like to do work.
Okay.
If I am producing, I'm looking for gain. If I'm retaining, I'm looking for gain. So if I'm to protect the consumer, I shouldn't be the person selling to the consumer.
Okay. Okay. So you're implying that government interference should come in there?
It should start from there. These people are charged with the responsibility of checking the market, the hike in price. What is making the price to skyrocket the way it's skyrocketing? And then they should walk into these sectors. Okay, enter the supermarkets. Why are you selling this thing at this exorbitant price? Enter into the market. Have agencies under them that will regulate this market. I remember a time in River State during the 2012 flood, right? Our former governor, he stepped into the market when the price of Gary was going high. He stepped in, literally, he regulated the price here in River State. So these people are to do this. Who is to, am I the one to go and monitor the retailers? Retailers are blaming it on dollar. In Nigeria, you want to buy periwinkle woman will tell you dollar is high. You want to buy pear that is plucked from backyard, they will tell you dollar is high.
Interesting.
You want to buy vegetable, ogu, they will tell you dollar is high. You want to buy orange, they will tell you what? Dollar is high.
Maybe the oranges were imported.
So everything in Nigeria now is imported. So dollar is now regulating our market. And the problem of Nigerians is Nigerians.
Why do you say so?
Our problem, we are our problem. We look at every possible means of extorting the other.
Okay.
We are just driving anything we can do. I was talking with one person that supplies one of the building materials. So I was talking with the person. I said, hi, I was talking about this regime. The person said I shouldn't talk about the presidency, that they are making profit more than what they've been making before. You know what he was saying? When they bring the goods, they have to multiply it times 5, 6, blaming it on dollar. Their selfishness is being blamed on dollar. So this is where the consumer protection needs to come in. This is where they need to enter the market. This is where they need to enter into the nooks and the crannies of the town, looking at what is being sold, how is it sold, and why are you selling it like this, even at this point. If you are dollarizing our economy.
If they've not done that.
What have they done? Have you seen them?
Well, they must have done
how many shops have been closed in Port Harcourt?
Like you said, the most Nigerians, I want to use the word most Nigerians, we are the problem, are the cause.
Are you alleging? Like, are you alleging? Because we are alleging everything in Nigeria now.
I will leave that to you for you to decide.
No, now are you alleging?
No. I'm looking at this from the area of they can implement these laws. Fine, they can regulate distance, but it's that the market woman.
If implementing, should reflect in the market.
The market woman in the market will decide her price herself.
She cannot decide. That's why you are there. Listen.
Based on
wait. Listen. Why are you there? Okay, the price of something is high, right? You say it should come down. How will it come down? Now, transportation. You are transporting these goods from Kano.
Okay.
To Port Harcourt, right?
Yeah.
Your transportation from Kano, how many kilometers? From Kano to Port Harcourt.
I have not done such research.
Now, no, I'm looking at what should be analyzed.
Okay.
So the cost of transportation, the trailer that is bringing it, or the vehicle that converges it to this place now, how many kilometers? What are the prices per kilometer? Now you look into these things. Now arriving in Port Harcourt, the purchase price. Now the consumer, what do you know what they call consumer protection? Because you should know the price of these things, the movement of these commodities. Then you now implement it. Do you know that I'm not aware currently now? That should have been a standpoint to let me know that this thing is being sold like this. Okay, we talk about rice. The price of rice is down as deducted, right? The price is no longer high as it was. How much is the price? How much is rice now? We now have different people. We go to here, they will tell you, like, this person will tell you 100, right? This person will tell you 20. This person will tell you 50. Now we have mega shops that can be regulated. If these shops are regulated, the woman in the market will regulate our price.
Like you said, is it the shops, or we look at it, all our economy is intertwined? The fuel price affects the driver will add his own charge. When the producer or the retailer gets this product, he or she would multiply, we add up his expenses for fuel, his expenses for tax at different areas, and then implement it in his price. Because everybody wants to make profit. So is it just regulating these prices, or looking to some sectors that are pivotal into determining the price of goods in the market? Okay,
what are the factors? Transportation, right? We have the chain of distribution.
Yeah.
Now, the chain of distribution, one thing you should consider is transportation.
Fertilizer also for producing those.
I'm coming now. Chain of distribution, we are talking at, that is production. You are going to production now.
Now I'm coming from
I'm talking about distributing now.
Okay.
So if we are looking at that chain to distribute this thing in transportation, we are looking at.
Yeah.
Now, if you are looking at production, we are looking at the cost of labor, fertilizer, and the rest of it now. Now, let's look at this. The fertilizer we are talking about now, who produces it? It's a factory in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Is it possible that the market can be regulated?
It's possible.
So what happens then? Is it not the consumer protection that is to regulate it? Look at, why are you selling this thing like this? If possible, government steps in looking at the plight of the people. That is where subsidy comes in. Because the local woman needs fertilizer.
Okay.
The person that is doing both commercial, both mechanized farm, the person that is doing commercial, the person that is doing subsistence farming needs fertilizer. So what you do is that you step in. If you want this thing to drop, that's why I'm saying, look at fuel. This fuel price. Now, what is this thing now? You build a system that is going to control the transportation cost. You set up a rail system, train that will be available to converge goods from north to south, north to east, south to north, and like that. Now, these things are subsidized by government. If I'm traveling, you can just come up and say, okay, this thing costs 20,000 instead of 30. You've taken a burden of 20,000 off my head. So coming to the market now have reduced what? Have removed what? 20,000. And then it will now enable you, government, to come in. For instance, I own a superstore, a grocery store. You can now come in and say, no, we check and you are on part of our beneficiaries. Why are you selling this thing at this? You see the shop. You send signal to the other person.
Okay.
So on that, because they know that there is a government that is operational, that is watching my back, and if I do anything, they are going to close down my source of livelihood. Not just closing, and closing down your business. I'm selling okra now. I have to go and buy meat.
Yeah.
Yes. So at a point, I talked to during Pierre last year. I went to buy Pierre for my family. So when I got there, the woman, the Pierre they shaded, I was like, man, this thing is too small. And I say, no, say dollar high. The woman, I said, man, you go market, go buy something.
So you see, everything is interconnected.
Yes. So it is government not to regulate so that this woman will not blame it on the dollar.
This thing, like you said, Pierre, as it was Pierre, they have organizations that like they have market associations.
That is another problem now.
So I'm trying to break it down now. So if government passes tries to regulate this law, these bodies could say no. We know what you're passing through, so we can twitch the price.
Michael, do you know why you cannot blame these people? You want to regulate my business. What are the assistance? What are the procedures you set aside for us? I'm buying these things. Okay, what have you done so that when I'm buying it, not be at this exorbitant price that will make me to come and sell it at this high price that I'm selling it? That is where government needs to come in. Government has all the production.
Okay.
They can go and monitor them.
The minister said that retailers should reflect the government's regulations on their prices.
How can the retailers wait? When we are talking about this thing now, when we are looking at this, we have the producer, we have the wholesalers, we have the retailers, and then we have the what? The consumers. Now, the producer produces. Now, what it?
Can they explore other means? We have solar plants.
Solar plants. Do you know the level of how much are you going to spend on solar that they carry a whole factory?
Interestingly, I have seen companies that still operate with solar by solar, and their price they're still hell bent on the increased price.
How much to install solar panel? Just like four panels in your house. Try to install solar in your house now. 4 panels. Okay, it depends on the distance of the battery. Okay, now look at it. How much will it cost you? So to run a factory, okay, look at this place we are now. To install solar that will run this place without electricity, without generator, how much will it cost you?
Approximately, you should run in millions.
Not millions. Oh, you don't get it. Go to the market. Go and do. Listen, our government should be able to step in. That's why I'm saying government should step in.
We
don't produce solar panel here. Do we produce solar panel here?
I don't think not yet.
We don't produce the inverter battery here. Do we?
Not
no,
yet.
These things are imported. So the importer coming in, how much is the importer using to clear his imported goods? What are the custom duties being paid? So there are angles to this thing that if we want to regulate this price so that the market woman or the market women will not blame it on dollar, that dollar is making me to do this. Government, let's not talk about the retailer.
Okay. I think I get your point there. We'll move on to our next story. Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukoyede, has called on local government chairmen across this country to be prudent and accountable. Olukoyede stated that they do not have immunity from investigation or prosecution for fraud. He added that the EFCC will not wait until the end of any local government chairman's tenure before initiating a probe. This was contained in a statement issued on Wednesday by the EFCC's head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale. According to Oyewale, Olukoyede made the remarks in Gombe State while speaking at the Gombe State Local Government Summit. He said Olukoyede urged local council chairmen to manage the vast resources at their disposal responsibly, stressing local government chairmen do not have immunity and we are not going to wait until you finish your tenure to come after you. The EFCC chairman lamented the stagnation, poverty and deprivation prevalent in rural areas across the country despite the enormous resources allocated to them over the years. The impact of these resources is not felt by the people living in these areas. Instead of serving as catalysts for growth, councils have become mere caricatures that exist only in name. To ensure prudent resource management and accountability, Olukoyede recommended that chairmen establish a compliance unit to monitor resource allocation and project implementation. He informed them that the Commission has established a fraud risk assessment and control department, adding that officers from the department will be visiting local government councils in Gombe State to monitor the use of enhanced allocations from the federal account, the statement read. Oyewale further stated that Olukoyede warned chairmen that the EFCC would periodically monitor their funds. The EFCC will be paying you visits occasionally to check how you are using the funds. We will come in the evening. Sometimes you may even see us in your dreams, he said. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Musa Aliyu, expressed dismay that only 7 out of 4 local government councils in Nigeria have websites, making it difficult to monitor their expenditures. In his opening remarks, Gombe State Governor Inuwa Yahaya said the summit was designed to strengthen local government administration in the state and ensure it meets public expectations in light of the new autonomy granted to councils. For autonomy to be beneficial and useful, councils must have the capacity and discipline to utilize their resources for the good of the people. He noted that Gombe State was not caught off guard by the Supreme Court's ruling, as it had already granted financial autonomy to the 11 councils in the state. Before we go into monitoring of funds, there has been a staggering pace at implementing the autonomy of local government. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay. If you are talking about local government autonomy, is very important.
Okay.
Reason being that the local government can now step in, do what they ought to do, without being afraid of the governor will do this, the House of Assembly will do this and that. They are now answering their names by themselves. You are held responsible for your actions and your inactions. You don't have any for this, yes. But now, let's come to this. You don't expect full autonomy for the local government with our political system.
Why? You say so?
They will operate on quasi-autonomy.
Okay.
Do you know why I say quasi-autonomy? Their political fathers, political godfathers, will still be influencing.
Irrespective of the autonomy.
They will be influencing. Who will nominate you for the chairman? You are coming from a party, right? Who brings you out for the election to contest? Who anoints you? That is Nigeria for you.
Anointing?
They must anoint you now.
With olive oil or what?
With the oil of being a candidate. Okay, don't worry, we go for the chairman. So this is my court. Now, the EFCC is stepping in is good. But it shouldn't be the EFCC coming in to take their courts. I don't say I'm not alleging that they have been taking court. I'm not alleging, but okay. I'm saying it because if you look at what is coming in, I heard the money that is entering my state local government recently, and it was part of the thing that brought. Last time I told you about my discussion with somebody. How if I were to be the local government chairman, this and these are the things I would have done. And then the person was like, oh boy, carry your money, go house, go rest. I looked at him, I laughed. Because the mindset, I know of a local government caretaker, 3 months, 3 weeks, what the man was looking for, where he will get 10 plots of land to build his own house.
3 weeks.
Somebody that was a civil servant, you've had the opportunity of serving your people. What you are looking at, where you will get 10 plots of land to start building, what is the nature of the house you want to build on 10 plots of land?
Maybe it's a factory he wants to build.
His house, personal living house. It's not another person's house. It's not factory. The house he wants to live, a local government chairman, caretaker. So it is something like a madness in our system that once you are elected into office, the next thing you are thinking of is how you are going to siphon funds. Local government is meant to make people feel. There was a governor in Rivers State that why people were celebrating him is because the local government chairmen were working.
Okay.
The first thing wrote to me, Amechi, the local government chairmen were working. It lifted the burden from his shoulder. Because when your chairman is working, the state government has key things he should focus on. Rural development has been taken away from him.
Okay.
You can step in, you know the schools that needs to be renovated, you renovate them. You know the roads that does not connect these other local, that are internal roads in your local government, you construct them. You are making the people feel the impact of governance. You provide farming incentives to the people. Local government provides loans and grants to farmers. Local government steps in, you provide scholarship to scholars in your AG, in your local government area. You leave that burden from the state government, leave that burden from, but it's something appalling. That in this part, what local government chairman does is that immediately they are elected, they now go and look for a house in GRA. Okay. A local government chairman that was sleeping in his village. Yes, you need security. Yes, yeah, as a chairman now, Oga don't reach now. But it shouldn't be at the expense of your local government area. The fund that you are giving now, I say I heard of billions entering local government. And I shook my head. What is the salary strength of the local government? Local government can employ people. You can do your employment. Look at the roads. You can employ laborers. We are talking about the drainage system. If it rains now, but you know what? Local government gives paper, they call it environmental. In Rivers State. You want to build now, you will see task force 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12. They are going in the name of local government, local government, local government. Where are the funds going? Minus the allocation given to them. So it's a good thing that EFCC comes in and monitor these funds.
The monitoring of the funds, they didn't tell us the process, the procedure they're going to use, if they're going to go digital or analog. But I know in the story, the chairman of AFCC said that it's appalling that most local government chairmen don't have websites.
That's ICPC. You see, website development, you know that these people were under the state government.
Okay.
Being controlled by the House of Assembly. And the Local Government Service Commission. Are you getting it now? Now, the Local Government Service Commission was responsible for the running of the workers. Now, the chairman was as of then impeached by the House of Assembly.
Okay.
They can remove you. You don't have a say. You were running errand for House of Assembly. So, for you to be a chairman, you must be obedient to the Oga and House of Assembly. Your Oga can use House of Assembly to remove you. So even the website you are talking about, who will develop it? If I'm not autonomous, how will I develop website? Who will manage it for me?
But you just spoke about the resources that come into a local government and the strength of local government. They can take up this responsibility.
They can do it, Michael, but it wasn't done because most of these people, they were controlled. I told you I'm a local government chairman, I know. I'm not alleging this one.
No, I know, but where I'm heading to is for financial accountability. Yes, prudence. Because since analog, we have
a senator is giving his own senator district project. Where they let them show us the money given to them for the project. Let them show us what they are doing, that match up with the money they are giving to them. They are doing constituency projects. What are they doing with the constituency projects? No, let them show us. Something happened. It was yesterday we saw creep of this lady, this woman that had a fracas with the Natasha. What she did in her constituency 1 year in office, to mark her 1 year in office, what she did in her senatorial district, I almost shed tears. What are our senators doing?
What she did was recommendable.
My brother, go and look out for Natasha's 1 year in office. What a woman did. But we have men that when they come in, they want boys to be harassing.
But why this is single out? Because the fact that local government,
It shouldn't be winch hunt. I wanted to come to that place.
What do you mean by it shouldn't be?
Now, get me. We know what happened in the Nigerian system. You are at the state, I'm at the federal. EFCC is federal parastatal.
Okay.
So I have the federal power to influence EFCC to go after you. If I want to cripple the governor of this state, I should go after the local government chairman. Do you know why? They are the grassroots mobilizers. Our secretariat is in Port Harcourt, right?
Yeah.
But Port Harcourt has a local government. True or false?
True.
So who mobilize the local, the locals? Who is the person that will mobilize the people living in this locality? Is the chairman, right? So it shouldn't be winch hunt. They are doing this thing, don't winch hunt anybody. Be able to say that if this thing happens, if the chairman is brought to book in a just cause, it will serve as a deterrent to others.
Okay, so what's your advocacy on this? You like you said.
Number one, my advocacy is number one. You don't expect it to just be free. Local government cannot be completely autonomous. I'm still saying they have quasi autonomy. The quasi autonomy is that funds is no longer coming from federal to the state. Funds are coming straight from the federal to their local government account. As a local government chairman, who you are, you should know that you are answerable to the people. Not that the funds that are coming to you now, I mentioned some of the things. We are talking about agriculture. You can invest in agriculture. We have good arable lands in Nigeria. Invest in them. Do human capital development. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. I think one of the local government chairmen in Rivers State, I heard that he's doing a special science school. A special science school.
Okay.
So, invest in human capital development. We are in the tech. Nothing stop you to build a standard tech center in your local government, where people can step in and they know that they are being empowered with the knowledge of data analysis, the knowledge of data science. They are being empowered with knowledge of product management and product design. They are being empowered with visual. It shouldn't be the local government chairman to sit up, bet up, and look up.